Hey, what's up you guys? My name is Killer J. Y'all can call me KJ. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going down a creepy, nostalgic road. So you guys know I'm your spooky papi. I like talking about horror, gross, like weird shit like that. I also like to talk about nostalgic stuff. So I thought about combining both of the worlds and going on a little like nostalgic trip with you guys to make like content and, you know, think about different ideas to do and shit like that. So today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite childhood TV shows called Goosebumps. So about a month ago, I started looking up like old school horror shows that I grew up with, whether they were animated or live action, like in Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Disney Channel.
And you can't spread my ass cheeks.
And the first thing that came to mind, obviously, were the Goosebumps books and the Goosebumps TV show. I actually grew up reading the books. They were actually passed down on to me by my sister. She was a big fan of the books and she would read them and just pass them down to me. I know there's a couple at mom's house, but I actually do have a couple here in my collection. I have Night of the Living Dummy 1, like the first one. I know there's like a conspiracy theory, supposedly that there's no Night of the Living Dummy like 1 like in the TV show. We start from the second one or the third one or something like that, but we'll look into that in the future. And I also have one of my favorites, which is Reader Beware, like give yourself like your own scare. It's one of these like old school kind of like kids books where you would read a page and it will give you like two options, and then one of the options would say go to page 60 or go to page 58, and then you would keep reading and it has different endings. So this was very cool. I still read them from time to time. It's nice to have them around, but I do want to buy a couple more just so I can get back into it, you know what I mean? So I sat down and watched the first 2 seasons, by the way, on YouTube for free. And it was very nice. It was very nostalgic, and I came across a couple episodes that I wanted to talk to you guys about and make some videos on. And what actually was like a whole like season per season like review became like an episode per episode dissection of my favorite creepy, scary episodes that I remember watching or that I rewatched or watched for the first time as I was watching all the seasons. And I was like, okay, this is kind of fucking like creepy, so let's make a video about it. By the way, follow me on social media. All the links are down in the description below.
No, not you, not you. Oh my God, you're worse. You're worse. What are you?
So today we're going to be talking about one of 2 episodes that I watched from the first and second season that actually made me go, what the fuck's going on? Like literally the twist at the end is very nice. If you guys have seen it, you already know what we're going to be talking about today. Today we're going to be talking about episode 4, The Girl Who Cried Monster. Fun fact, when I was a little kid, when I was like 5 years old when this first aired, I used to be fucking terrified of the intro. I don't know whether it was the piano because, you know, The Exorcist and Halloween, then that kind of got embedded into my head and it's like scary, or was like the creepy guy, basically R.L. Stine, because that's who it is, the guy like carrying the briefcase. I don't know what it was, but one of the 2 things from the first like couple of frames would just send me into a crying spiral, and it wasn't until I got older that I kind of like started enjoying this fucking jam of a song. So the episode starts off with this little kid called Randy, and he's playing in his front yard, and his big sister Lucy comes and tells him like a scary monster story.
Randy, haven't you ever heard of the razor-toothed toe biter?
What do you mean, toe biter?
It got Becky and Lila next door.
Something that I noticed a lot when watching this early 90s to 2000 like kids TV show, there's always gonna be a bully or like hazing involved, whether it's like through like another family member like cousin Larry or something like that, Larry, or through the same protagonist that's just an asshole and they learn a lesson at the end of the episode. There's always a bully slash like bad person in each episode, or like a bad kid in each episode. By the way, the kid who plays Randy, he needs like an award for like best scream king or something like that, because the scream he does when he gets scared is amazing. So Randy runs inside and just tells on Lucy, and Lucy's mom just tells her off in the most white suburban way, like, Lucy, please stop terrorizing your brother. He is a good kid. Stop being a bad kid or else.
Lucy, would you please stop scaring your little brother?
Oh, Mom, it was just a joke.
By the way, Randy out of nowhere just screams no in the most brattiest way possible.
The toe biter gave me back my toes because I promised to cut yours off and give them to him tonight.
No!
Like, you know, this kid, like, in real life is probably just tired of being a child actor, and he just got all the energy out in that no. So Lucy stops terrorizing her brother and goes to the library, and there's where we meet Mr. Mortman, the librarian. By the way, we also meet Aaron, which is basically Lucy's best friend, and he's also into like scary stories and monsters as well. We get like a little back and forth with Mortman and Lucy and her liking scary shit, and he's saying that he likes classic books, and he just gives me a fucking creepy vibe, yo.
Are you sure, Lucy? Frankenstein is a classic as well.
Yeah, but this one's got a monster.
Wouldn't it be cool if they were real monsters?
Well, I'm not so sure, Aaron. Most people like to be frightened in movies or stories.
Man, shut the fuck up with that bullshit.
Not in real life.
Lucy and Aaron leave the library, and as they're walking towards like the bus stop or towards their home, because it's like back in the 90s where kids were safe enough to just walk around by themselves, Lucy remembers that she forgot her roller skates back in the library, so she has to head back and go get them, because obviously it's her property. She needs to go get them, or she'll get fucking probably, I don't know, no gravy on your mashed potatoes. I don't know what white people do to reprimand their kids. I'm fucking Latino. Aaron is basically me, and he's like, listen, I gotta get home, because if I don't get home by 4 p.m, my mom's gonna whoop my ass, so I'm sorry, you gotta go back by yourself. I gotta get the hell out of here. By the way, before all this, they were making fun of like Mr. Mortman, calling him like the worst shit possible, just like slimy, disgusting.
Creepy, beady little eyes.
Maybe if you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got, you'd get some bitches on your dick.
When he gave me my book, it was so slimy, I almost dropped it.
Yeah?
I know I am probably gonna call him a fucking by the end of this video, but you know, it's not cool, yo. So come on, leave your librarian guy alone. Lucy heads back to the library by herself, and we get fucking jump scared by a goddamn cat. I don't know why we got to have a jump scare in a goddamn Goosebumps episode, but whatever. And we find out that Mr. Mortman, the librarian, the creepy guy, is actually a real life monster. He goes so fucking like WWE boogeyman and shit, and grabs like a handful of crickets that he's about to feed to a spider and just munches on him. Like, you remember Boogeyman? He used to eat the fucking worms and shit. Like, he just like, You know, I ate crickets once on camera. So we got the crickets right here. You guys see it? I'm gonna eat one. I'm gonna close my eyes so I don't feel it. Oh no! Oh no! That's inside me, bro. That's inside me, man. Where's the water? That didn't go well. So now we get like this terrifying kind of like claymation cutscene where we get Mr. Mortman morphing into like his monster form, and it basically resembles like The Fly, like the remake from like Cronenberg, like that, like nasty, like almost like practical like effects. And as a kid, I could imagine the trauma you would feel when you see this for the first time, because I don't know, when did Goosebumps air? Like at what time did it actually air? Like was it late at night or was it more like towards the afternoon? But again, watching it as an adult, I can't get past the brief like bug sound tongue thing that he does that just throws me off completely. It's almost like they told him, hey, listen, act like a fucking bug. I don't know how bugs act, but act like one. And he just went, bah! Lucy manages to run away because she gets scared, gets home and tells her mom, but her parents don't believe her. We actually get to meet her dad in this scene. They don't believe her because he's like, you know, you always tell scary stories. You always terrifying your brother. Now you're coming to us talking about monsters. Stop being a little bitch. Fucking get your plate ready. Let's go to dinner. He doesn't actually say that, but I know that's what he meant. He just says it in a wider version.
Oh, I hope this monster thing was just a phase you were going through.
Life is a phase I'm going through.
Well, could you go through it, please, after you've washed your hands and set the table?
Dad, this is no joke.
Larry, you're making them too big.
I happen to like big meatballs.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
So since no one believes Lucy, she decides to get a camcorder and to actually go and take a picture of Mortman when he transforms into this like monster form. She tells Aaron on the phone that she's gonna do like this plan of taking a picture of him and stuff, and he doesn't even freaking do anything. He just minds his own business. He doesn't even offer to go there and help her. He's like, good luck with that. And this is where shit starts getting very creepy. Because the next day, Lucy actually goes to the library like normal. Like, she gets out a book and exchange, gives a little chit-chat to Mr. Mortman. Mr. Mortman says some weird foreshadowy shit about how supposedly some people have monsters and everybody has a little monster inside of them.
Do you believe in monsters?
Perhaps we all have a little monster in us, Lucy.
Which, again, in any other context, totally fucking creepy to be saying to like a 12-year-old. Lucy acts like she's leaving. She pulls the old, pulling the door, slamming it real hard, and then so you think that I left. But she forgot the most important step, which is literally the fading away, like fading away step. So it sounds like you're walking away, but you gotta step like very hard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You've done it before. We all have done it before as kids. So Mortman does end up turning into a monster again and doing his little tongue thing. And Lucy actually manages to get a picture of Mortman, but because of the flash, obviously she gets like caught and cornered. We get like one of those fade out like commercial scenes, and they're always edited into these Goosebumps things. And then she manages to get away, like crawling between his legs, and she just runs away as he's supposedly chasing her, but we don't see him. We just hear him like in an echoey kind of synth like voice saying her name.
Lucy, come back! Come back!
But it's obviously that Mortman knows where she lives because she has like a library card, and Aaron is the one that actually points this out to Lucy. And as he's doing it, this creepy motherfucker just shows up on like cue.
You're forgetting something, Lucy. Your library card has your address on it. Mortman knows where you live.
So what?
He could be on his way to your house this minute.
That's not funny, Aaron.
If I were you, I'd get out of there right now.
So we get a Mexican standoff between Mortman and Lucy, and the only thing in between them is like this little small film, like bug film, like door, like the screen door. And Mortman's like, "Hey, I got your bag, let me in." And she's like, "No, stranger danger, get the fuck out." And he's like, "No, let me hand you this bag in your hands, open the door." Fucking some Chris Hansen shit right there.
Mom, is Dad still cleaning his rifle?
It's okay, Lucy. It's really you that I've come to see.
I'm Chris Hansen. No, you're not. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yes, I am.
At the end, he just drops it off in the porch and leaves, and the parents come home, and Lucy actually convinces them to go to like the picture development place, because back in the day, you couldn't get, there were films, so you needed to go to a place, get them printed out, and then you could see the actual pictures. Like it was crazy. Like you would take pictures without knowing what would come out or how blurry it was. Insane. So they actually get the pictures developed. And then Lucy actually's coming out to like check the pictures and shit like that. Fucking Randy's little asshole, fucking stupid ass comes and knocks the pictures down. Like, I'm happy he gets tormented by his sister now, because I realize how much of a dick he is. Like, what kid does that shit? He just slaps the fucking pictures out of Lucy's hand. And as Lucy's picking them up, by the way, the parents are in the car, they're not doing shit. Lucy's picking them up, Mortman appears out of nowhere. Again, creepy pedo shit. Picks up the picture that he's basically in as a monster, and basically looks at Lucy all creep-like. Lucy's parents finally intervene, but in the most wrong way ever. They actually invite Mortman for dinner the next day.
Mr. Mortman, why don't you come over for dinner tomorrow night?
Lucy's been talking a great deal about you. It'd be nice to get to know you better.
Well, that would be lovely. Thank you.
I happen to like big meatballs.
And Lucy's freaking the fuck out at this point. She's like, no, why is he coming to dinner, etc., etc. But, we cut to the next day, which is when they're actually setting up dinner and stuff like that. And Lucy's still complaining. She's like, why is he coming to dinner? He's a monster. Why do you guys don't believe me? He's gonna eat us, etc., etc. So she's making like a whole fuss about this shit. Oh, and by the way, in the picture that she took of Mortman, he's actually not there. He's like completely invisible, so it's almost like a vampire, like reptile from Mortal Kombat. Or is it mirrors that they can't show up on, or I don't know, something. He's not in the picture, like he disappeared or something like that, like when the flash came. I don't know, I don't get it. He's just not in the picture. By the way, the song that's playing in the background is that violin song that went viral on TikTok like about a year ago, and I can't get the actual meme out of my head as I'm looking and like replaying this scene.
Sir, the fact that he's not in this picture proves it.
I don't care if he's a drooling werewolf. He's coming for dinner.
So Mortman shows up to Lucy's house, and they're being all formal and chit-chatting and stuff like that. Lucy offers Mortman's like her dad's meatballs, and he's like, oh, this is delicious, etc., etc. And then all of a sudden, here's where we get like the what the fuck crazy twist. Mortman out of nowhere, he's like, hey, so what's for dinner?
Delicious. What's for dinner?
And then this happens.
Well, it was going to be a surprise, but...
Since you asked, you are.
Like for a second, I actually looked at the screen. I'm like, are these guys cannibals or like monster hunters or something like that? But no, they turn into like these weird PG like snake monsters, and we don't get to see them clearly because we only get to see like Mortman's like glasses and the reflection. Is all like a weird LSD trip. But we know they're eating him like alive. They're monsters that are eating another monster alive on a kids TV show. And then we get like a small explanation by Lucy's parents on how they're like the only monsters in town, and Mortman's been the first monster in 20 years that has come to town, and that's the whole reason why they didn't believe Lucy. And Lucy and Randy are actually monsters.
Mr. Mortman's the first monster to come around in 20 years.
Besides us, of course.
That's why it took us so long to believe you, Lucy.
And when you two get bigger, you're gonna get your training fangs.
So the idea of them thinking they're gonna be hunted by other monsters kind of fits in with why Randy's afraid of monsters, but at the same time it kind of like throws me off just a little bit, because if he's a monster, why is he scared if he knows his parents can defend him? Anyways, we get like this weird, almost like gotcha moment where Aaron comes out of nowhere with like a monster mask, and Lucy's parents are about to just maul them, but then he takes off the mask just in time. Again, 1990s, because someone sneaking up to your home at night with a mask like that, instantly NRA his ass. Like that's what would happen. Like not even like the monsters. That's the least of your concerns. But we get like this weird like cutaway where Aaron's like, hey, what's for dessert? And then Lucy's parents is like, oh, you like cherry pie? Which is the most Goosebumps kids show Disney Channel ending to an episode ever.
What's for dessert?
Well, it was going to be a surprise, but since you asked...
You like cherry pie?
Sure.
But again, that twist was actually very interesting. I actually liked this episode a lot. Again, the twist got me saying, what the fuck? There's another one that's like a two... Again, the twist got me saying, what the fuck? Because I was like, oh shit, fuck. No, like, they're the actual monsters. They're the bad people in this like TV show. I'm gonna head out, guys. I got some shit to do. The internet's been gone for about 6 hours and I'm bored as fuck, so I'm just gonna go to sleep, take a nap. Take it easy, guys. My name is Killer J. Follow me on social media. All the links in the description below. Use your fucking turn signals and stay tuned. We're gonna do a bunch of other shit with other like kids horror TV shows. Bye. Take it easy.